Good morning, all. Hold on one second. Let me mute this. All right, so how's everybody doing this morning? What's up, Jason, Netron, John, Ash, Who Get This, Wheel, Mikey, John O. What's up, guys? Good morning. Yeah, watching PCG. Watching PCG PDD, NIO, CRON, URBN. Also watching some ETFs, the TVIX, SOXS, watching Yeti, YETI. What's up, Israel? Good morning, man. Oh, I'm not feeling that hot this morning. Oh, man. I think I got a little cold. Haven't felt great the last 2 days. But, man. KLIC two-way, let's check it out. I mean, it's gapping down. Let's look at the daily chart. Not a lot of volume. I mean, it's under the lows of the year, though. That's probably what you see from it, right? And so that's interesting. We'll see where that one goes. SQ, Squarespace. Yeah, it is getting hammered here. Yeah, I'll add SQ to my watch list too. I didn't notice that one earlier. SDOW on my watch list as well. Looks like another ETF. You can see SPY's down, so TVIX, which are inverse ETFs, are up. UVXY. And so they're moving some. We got NIO, which is moving in pre-market. You know, it had a big day yesterday. It's moving in pre-market. It's not gapping up. It's actually gapping down about 22 cents. But it's moving some. And so that's enough to make me watch it as well. We got the Kingdom stocks gapping down some. Let's see where Mitch is at. Okay. He said he's going to be here soon. Yeah, man, I'm seeing a lot of stuff down. The SPY is down a lot, Todd. SPY is down. Let's see, we are right here. You're right about there. Let's see where the nearest support is in this market. Broke under some support. We'll see what happens, man. Todd, I mean, you can look at the TVIX. TVIX is up. I mean, it's an inverse ETF. It's an inverse volatility ETF. So when we get downward volatility on the SPY, the TVIX is going to push up in the opposing direction. And so we'll see what happens with it. Yeah, VXX sounds like looks like another inverse ETF. Doing the opposite of what the SPY's doing. Let me see. Yeah, for sure. Whew. SDS, another ETF. I'm not touching AMRN. AMRN is one of those stocks that just doesn't fulfill my patterns. You know? Like, it's just one of those stocks that it just never works for me. I just never have good results with it. And so I gotta just ignore it. At least for the type of strategies that I do. I just never have good results with it. You know, like last week would have been a green week if it wasn't for AMRN. And so I just gotta ignore it. It may set up, it may look pretty, but it never really follows through. What's up, Seven? Good morning, man. LB gapping down some as well. Limited brands. I mean, $10 losses at the end of the world, Mikey. I mean, look at the grand scheme of things. If you've held on to it for 2 weeks, I mean, you know, $10 is tiny. I guess it's all relative to your account size, though. What's up, Dr. Box? Welcome, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, the cannabis stocks, if you look at the daily on the cannabis stocks, they've been in a little bit of a little downtrend. You can see, I think they may have a red day today, but who knows? Just basing it off of the daily chart, right? You can see kind of the up, down, up. One red day. We'll see if we get another down for that downward trend confirmation on the daily chart for these cannabis stocks. I mean, it could push up. Who knows, man? What's up, Joe? Good morning. What's up, Abdul? What's up, Fetty? Good morning. What's up, Power Zone? Long time no see, brother. Israel. I don't really set hard stops, to be honest. You know, people have their own opinions on whether I should set stop losses or not. I just don't set stop losses. I set mental stops because a lot of times I'm waiting for it to really hold over those levels, and too many times will it kind of push up quickly, stop me out, and then head right back down to where it was going. You know, especially when I'm using previous support and resistance as my levels. And so for that reason, typically once it gets close to my stop or my risk, I like to call it, instead of a stop, because it's not really a stop, it's just my risk area. When it gets close to there, I usually have my hand over the cover button. And so if it does kind of go crazy and break out, I can just immediately get out. But that way, if it does kind of tap it and actually not break it, but just touch it for a second, then I can hold on to it, is what I usually try to do. What's up, Mitch? You in here, brother? Yeah, man. Mitch. This is the second day in a row, man. Mitch is in the room. Hold on. There you go, Mitch. Hold on. All right, you're in there, brother. All right, guys, we got Mitch in here. All right, Max. With that said, I'm gonna run to the restroom, brother. So hold it down. What's up, Mitch? Sorry, man.
You're good, bro. No worries.
I'm gonna run to the restroom, brother. Hold it down, man. We got Mitch here.
So what's going on, guys? How we doing? How we doing? Tuesday. Time to get it right. Time to get back in action, back in the winning ways. Actually on a little bit of a losing streak. One of the key things, whenever I'm in a losing streak, I really try to find out what I've been doing, if it's been trading errors or has it been just bad luck. Part of trading is you'll learn that it all has to do with probability and that you can't really look at any one trade and blame it on that one trade. What I realized is I went back, really looked at my trades and saw that what I've been doing is being impatient. Impatience causes you to what? It causes you to have a lot more FOMO when you miss moves, or also what's been happening to me is trading outside of my strategy. I haven't really been nailing my trade lately. I've been having a little bit of a couple miss hesitation moves. And when you have hesitation, what ends up happening is you usually have a tendency of going into another trade, trying to make a trade happen versus letting the market come to you. One of the biggest things of trading is learning how to let the market come to you. If you let the market come to you, you'll be able to just trade your strategy and be less hesitant. One of the keys is I've been missing early moves, probably around 9:35, 9:36, and then trying to make up with it by a late trade, taking a late trade that, yes, it is setting up good on risk or reward side, but I'm taking a strategy that I haven't proved, tested. And that's what I always talk to you guys about in our nightly classes is that, any strategy that we teach, we like to prove that it can happen, and it happens time in and time out. We do the back testing for it. And what I realize is the strategies that I've been testing or been taking, it's not necessarily the ones that I've back tested, and it hasn't been the ones that have gotten me the best gains. I have taken a little bit more longs as I've been switching into more of a long trading, as I usually normally do this in November and December time. And I look for summer to look for more shorts. What I really need to do is just adjust in my waiting. Be patient. If I do see my setup, take it. And if I don't see my triggers, lay off, and it's okay not to trade. One of the best things that any trader can learn is that he or she doesn't have to trade every single day to make a profit. What you really need to do is just take the best opportunity. And that's really what I've noticed is that I've been impatient, not taking the best opportunity. And that's what I'm going to really try to get back onto. And you guys will see me starting to get that discipline down. I'll jump into the chat here. These guys are loving they're blowing up the chat over here on the Shatter Life. Hey, well,
I ain't judging,
I got no problem with it, man. I mean, hey, I'm moving to Colorado soon. I definitely do like the industry. One of the key things, I'm a retail manager. I have a business background, business degree, and that's really what I want to use. I love to manage businesses, and who knows, maybe you guys see me running my own dispensary soon enough.
Hit me up when you do,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm over here in Texas, though. I don't know when it'll be for me.
Yeah, Mikey. I took a couple of hits yesterday. I took two small hits. I think it was a $10 hit, a $15 hit, and then I took a little bit bigger. I took a $65 hit. And yeah, in relative to my last 2 months, it's really not big. But what I didn't really like is, like I've been talking about a little bit earlier, and it's that I've been getting into trades that you can clearly see I'm just being impatient. I'm trying to essentially make the trades happen versus letting the market come to me. One of the best things is that me and John really try to be transparent when we're in a losing streak. We're gonna let you know also. Right now I feel like I got I wrote a nice high. I had about I think it was about 18 or 19 days where I was only red 2 days. And so now I'm more in the down part of the cycle. I'm trading. I always think that trading kind of goes in a cycle. I'm just in the pullback here, guys. I got to get back to what makes me profitable, and that's sticking to my risk and reward, being disciplined to my strategy, and not being impatient. At the end of the day, the impatient trader tries to make trades happen, and you cannot make trades happen. The market has to be in your way.
Okay. John, Mitch, can you guys trade GPTC? I don't think so. I know that stock. I'm pretty sure we can't. I don't think we can. I think it's an OTC stock, right? If it is, we can't trade it.
So what we'll be doing today is kind of getting back to the basics, guys. You guys are going to be seeing me try to nail some VWAP fades, VWAP rejections, and really stay off of certain long plays and certain short plays. I've been doing more of a kind of ascending triangles, what I call the pattern breakdown trades. And pattern breakdown trades are really good when the pattern breaks down. But of course, when the pattern fulfills itself, it's usually going to go against you and go against you really quickly. And what I've noticed is that I've been taking these trades, not necessarily when I'm getting confirmation, but getting into the trade prior to the move. And by getting into the trade prior to the move, I'm not really giving myself the ability to judge the market in a neutral or objective way. I'm starting to kind of create the assumption or expectation of the market going my way. And this is exactly what we talk about on Wednesdays with our trading psychology. This is what we went over last week, which was big on trading expectations. If you have the wrong expectations or have any expectation in your trade, more than likely, majority of the time, probability will stop you out. Expectations in trading only create emotions, and these are not what you need to actually capitalize and execute on your trading plan.
Yeah, you just gotta follow your levels. That's probably the easiest way, is just to stick to your levels. It's tough though, man. Like one of the things I think I've actually been doing well the last 2 weeks, the last 3 weeks or so, is I've been pretty selective. Like I think a few weeks ago I had a losing week, and it kind of made me just not bummed out, but it made me super selective in what I trade, and I think it's been helping me for sure.
Definitely. It's important, guys. I mean, at the end of the day, like I always say, I feel like trading is a lot like life in that we have cycles, and everyone has these cycles. It's not like it's just one person that goes through these highs and lows. So one of the real keys is realizing that you can't fight the low. Like I can't try to trade myself out of my losing streak today, because if I do that, all I am going to do is push towards the one thing I don't want, which is putting emotions into my trading. So the way that I'm going to get around this is not necessarily try to make the trades happen, but go back to what we teach. And that's what we teach, guys. We don't teach a specific secret. We teach process. And that's really where we differentiate from everyone else in the trading, educating environment. And what we try to teach is that you can always go back to the process. If you go back to the process, you're going to be able to get yourself out of your kind of rut of trading, your down cycle, and get back to the up cycle where you can start making that profitability and really be consistent. Once you notice that you're in that down, cycle, you'll be able to essentially not necessarily try to change it, but at least recognize it. Recognizing is always the first thing to fixing something that's wrong in your trading, is that once you recognize it, you can at least know that it's there and adjust back to the process and get to where you want to be.
For sure.
And this is really what we teach on an every nightly basis, guys. Tonight's going to be a really fun class. I hope you guys can join up and join us tonight. We're going to be talking a lot about how do you really, really calculate once you've gone into like a down cycle. The biggest key to understanding your trading is realizing, are you making trading mistakes, or is the market just not going your way? And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. That's going to be tonight's lesson. Hope you guys can join up and join us for that lesson.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, I just looked it up. D. Evan, man, welcome, brother. Long time no see, man. So you moved to East Texas, huh? Yeah, I'm around Houston. A little bit north of Houston. I just looked it up, though. Nacogdoches. Man. Yeah, you're probably about 120 miles from me, D. Evan. Yeah, I'm looking at NIO as well, Jason. But yeah, man, one of the things you'll see about Mitch and I, like we get some hate, but we're probably the most honest people. Like, we don't claim to be experts, we don't claim to be gurus. We show people all of our trades. And so it's easy to kind of look at us and say, whoa, y'all aren't doing this right. Y'all aren't doing this right. And the difference is we're actually showing you our trades. We're not claiming to be experts, but if you want to learn with us and learn from us, then, you can sign up for the classes, and it's pretty cheap. And so go check it out, Yeah, D. Evan, we were actually talking about that yesterday, man, about how cheap houses are here in Texas. It's probably, there's no income tax, That's probably the beautiful thing about Texas. There's no income tax, but
all my exes live in Texas.
Mine don't.
I sent them to Texas. I don't know if I can go now.
Mine all live in Louisiana. Appreciate the sub, Christian. Welcome, brother. Appreciate it. Yeah, no stress, Israel.
Yep, that's what we have it, man. We talked to trade ideas and got the go on putting our scanners up there. What we do is really tell you guys that, trade ideas is really one of the best scanners and alert systems out there right now. I really don't think there's anybody as fast as they are when it comes to alert. We have the high day momentum scanner that we have up while we're trading. And that's really where it comes down to, guys. If you're what I call more of a speed trader, where you want information coming to you the fastest it can, especially if it's intraday information and data, I think where you really need to look into is that's in trade ideas. And trade ideas can really develop your strategies, help you get those alerts as fast as you can. We're talking milliseconds. And that's really where you start separating yourself. If you're one of those momentum traders that like to do, especially the speed scalps, like when you see a stock shoot up like Yelko did yesterday through the $6 price range. When you see those stocks shoot up, that's really where trade ideas comes into play and shows me immediately what the stock is and where the price level is.
Yeah, for sure. It's super easy. The reason I like trade ideas, it's pretty customizable. Like, that's what, like, I can build a scan around almost anything on trade ideas. And so I thought that was pretty cool.
Even for traders that like to use complicated indicators like Fibonacci's and retracement levels, one of the key things is that trade ideas has, I think, thousands of different alerts. It can take opening range. It can take VWAPs. It can take moving average indicators. It can do it all for you. The only we always like to talk about the positives and the negatives. The only downside I would see in trade ideas is just their charting. You can't use them for charting. Other than that, 100% A+ in every single thing they do.
I mean, the charts, they have charts, but it's not, you can't draw on your charts, I don't think. You might be able to.
You can, but it's just not very efficient, and it's not something you want to have as your charting program.
Yeah, like look,
Everything else, you'll be fine with everything.
like this is one of their charts. It's not bad, you know. Um, but yeah, ACB down. ACB's down some. You can see it here. I'm so used to Thinkorswim charts that I just use those. But yeah, you can see cannabis stocks are down today. I'm watching PDD. It already kind of filled the gap here. It may run into some support at 2050, but I'm watching it. Cannabis stocks are down. NIO. Somebody else mentioned NIO. It's moving. Had a big green day yesterday, and it pulled back a little bit here. But it's moving some, so I'm going to watch NIO as well. VWAP's got to drop a little bit for the fade, though.
One of the real cool features also on Trade Ideas is that at any point in time, if you do have a high momentum scanner or a gapper scanner at that, you can always right click on the actual stock and go straight to the news.
Really?
Yeah, it's one of the really cool features. I got you, brother. You see, we learn something every day. You click on any stock you want, and you right click on it and you go to send to. And when you go to the send to, you can go to Facebook, stock twits, external linking, the web. I usually select the web, and it usually goes straight to FinViz and lets you see FinViz as one of the options. And then you can actually down click and go to a whole bunch of different websites that have information on that one stock.
Yeah, it brought me to Yahoo Finance. But
there you go.
I mean, hey.
Yeah, you can down click and you can change it to FinViz or Yahoo or stock charts. They even have Trade Ideas stock information, Trade Ideas stocks, stocks like this, where it shows you alerts and different stocks that are kind of in that sector. There's plenty of different features that you can do with it. I really like that you can just right click, get to the news, especially let's say you see a stock shooting up on the momentum scanner. You pull it up, you right click, you find the catalyst, then you look at the levels and trade the trade.
For sure.
One of the key things, guys, is I'm kind of glad, I think TradeNet heard me out there and they put Yelko back.
Did they?
Yep, they brought Yelko back, guys. So Yelko is definitely going to be on my watch list today.
And they brought NBEV back.
Yep.
All right, so they're doing good. Man, they're doing good. So TradeNet did bring back NBEV. Yeah, Ben. We got Ben here from SnapTrade. You can go check out SnapTrade as well. Free scanner. If you're interested, you can check it out. I'll do a quick run through of it. You can see they got I build my watch list. That's what I usually love using SnapTrade for, is just building my watch list each morning. You can see I build it. A lot of good info. They have scanners. They have whatever sector, upcoming earnings, crypto, gap ups, high gainer penny stocks, whatever sector you like. Then they have news as well. So SnapTrade, awesome free scanner as well. So go check them out. Snaptrade.us, SNAPTRADE.us. But yeah, so they did add those stocks back. That's good to see, man.
Yeah, definitely. It's always good to see our stocks coming back into play. Hey, man, the market is down today, guys. If you look at the SPY overall, we're definitely looking like we're heading to the support level of 260s. And if we're going to have that down level today, guys, we're already down more than 1%. On days that the market is down more than 1%, I've usually made the most money. Way I've calculated this, guys, is by using TraderView. TraderView lets you calculate how much you make when the SPY is up more than 1% or down more than 1%. And this is when we really got to watch out, guys. When the market is crashing, you have correlation to the stocks, especially bigger stocks. As you go bigger and bigger into stocks, you're going to see more correlation towards the market overall. And that's really what we see here is we're going to see probably a down move to the support. And at least from my daily chart reading, I can see two clear touches of resistance up there at 281, 280. That's definitely clear resistance there. The support in this stock is going to be down there to those 262 levels, 260. I think it's going to test that support today and then probably work its way up a little bit, make another third resistance and crash down. But we're definitely working our way down in the market and not on the uptrend that we've been for about 2 years now.
For sure. And some people talking about cannabis being down, although some dispensaries opened up today. My thought on that is that a lot of these cannabis plays, they're going to be a little bit longer term. I think it's inevitable that it's going to be legal nationwide eventually. And so because of that, I guess I'd be a little bit more longer term in cannabis, just because I think it's going to be it's inevitable, you know. Even with stubborn states like Texas, like where I'm at, you know, it's going to be legal eventually. I remember when I was 15, and you know, I was sitting there telling myself when I was 15, yeah, within 10 years it's going to be legal. Well, now I'm 30, and it's still not in some states, but it's definitely made some improvements. And so I think it's inevitable that it's going to be legal eventually. And so for that reason, it's kind of like, you know, who knows? They might fluctuate for a while until it kind of opens up in the country, but I think it's inevitable to a certain extent. All right, so we can look up the news. We don't have that much time. We can look at a PDD here. Smaller than expected loss on PDD. It was a loss overall when earnings and revenue came out, but it was smaller than expected for PDD. Let's see if we can find a reason why the cannabis stocks are down. I'm going to look at NBEV here.
Well, that's interesting. Bitcoin down to 44s.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, my thoughts on Bitcoin, I've said it before, and I'm not trying to hate on Bitcoin. I actually like the concept of Bitcoin, don't get me wrong. But I just think the price of one coin is unreasonable. You know, like, for instance, like, if you want it to be a practical currency, right? The price of one coin being 20,000 for one coin, I just don't think that's practical for retail, for buying stuff, you know? Like then, because at that point they have to divide it up into buying a quarter of a coin, buying a decimal of a coin, a percentage of a coin, and I think that's not practical. I think for Bitcoin to maintain its relevancy, I think it's too expensive per coin. You know, so either they need to remove coins from the float, if they can even do that. I don't even know how Bitcoin works, but that's just my thoughts on it from a completely outsider's perspective. Again, I really don't know much about Bitcoin, and I'm sure some people in here are long on it, but like I said, I think the price of one coin isn't a practical price, you know, because at that point you have to divvy it up to where you're buying a percentage or a decimal of a coin, and I think that's not practical. You know, I think you need to make it a reasonable price per coin.
One of the keys when you go into Bitcoin is that you find out that Bitcoin can't essentially change the amount of Bitcoins that's out. The only thing it can do is make kind of separate coins, and that's essentially what Bitcoin Cash was trying to do, trying to change it into a different coin, trying to make it a smaller amount like you're talking about.
Right.
But the real essential thing of Bitcoin is that essentially there's not an infinite amount. You can't just print it out.
Right, there's a finite amount, right?
Exactly, there's a finite amount. And that's really where it runs into and why it created that boom. What we saw is a boom of a new security. And whenever you get a new security, a lot of times you're going to get this boom. And we got the boom, and now it is finally, you could have said that it was finding a support at that 5,000 level. And today, over the last, the last day, it finally broke those levels and really started heading down, getting there to 43. And this is where you guys can say that at least even on a yearly chart, it's starting to break and look bearish now. It was looking at some point in this area that I even was thinking about buying it in the 5,000, 6,000 level, just because at least chart-wise, you're finally seeing some support. But it broke that support, so now who knows where this is headed. And that's the real key of new security classes, is that new security classes, you know, they have to have some time to really develop pricing so that you can understand the pricing. Right. No one understands pricing in Bitcoin right now. That's why it went up to 20,000, because the price and demand for it, no one could understand it.
Right.
But let's get back to the day trading, guys. Let's start focusing in. Top stocks definitely for today. I got Yoko as one of my top stocks. I'm watching NBEV, AMD also. Also going to be watching NIO. NIO is one of my watch.
For sure. I like NIO.
Um, what do you got today, John?
PCG, PDD, the cannabis stocks, they're down. Some ETFs, not looking too bad. I mean, they're looking bad, but because of that, maybe some plays there. Also,
I like that. I
if
like
any,
that. Not looking too bad, but they're looking
they're
bad
looking bad, but not looking too bad
to trade it.
for
Let's do it.
shorting. All right, guys, market opens up. If anybody wants to sign up to TradeNet, TradeNet has their Black Friday sale going on. You get 25% off. I just posted that link as well. If you go through my link, I make a small commission from it. It's one of the ways we keep the stream free. Regardless of your thoughts on TAFs and TradeNet, do your research. But there's the link if anybody wants the 25% off Black Friday sale for TradeNet. And we got about 10 seconds, guys. Yeah, I'm watching the ETFs for sure. Cool. All right, there's the bell.
There she goes.
All right, PCG dropping sub. Watching the cannabis stocks and NIO here. But PCG making a pretty big drop. VWAP's kind of following it down too, so watching PCG. URBN is really tanking. It actually just broke under the closing price, URBN. You can see it start to tank here. All right, Tiny, have a good day. Appreciate you stopping by here. We'll see you tonight. All right, we got Kron rebounding some here, up to 790s. CGC rebounding up to almost 31, just broke 31 for CGC. So some of the cannabis stocks are rebounding today, it seems. Sorry, guys, let me pull out the intraday scanners. There we go. ORPN popping up on my scanners here. We got URBN. I don't mind URBN here if it pulls back up to 3490s. I like it because that's around the closing price, and so it has kind of double the resistance if it pulls up to that level, and it's a tight risk, and so I don't mind it there. ETFs coming down some, microchip sector at least. TVIX pulling down some, which means the overall market is probably up. Let's look at it. What's up, Anik? Good morning, man. Yeah, some of these cannabis stocks are actually moving up now. CGC is. Kind of looking at URBN. URBN doesn't look half bad here. The reason I like it is because it's got that resistance at the closing price of yesterday, which was, I wish I would have seen it before the open, but it looks to be right around, it has some support at 35 here, or some resistance, and then the closing price was at about 35.50. And so it doesn't look that bad here. It's right up to that level.
All right, guys, watching Yoko get a little bit of momentum there, start getting up there. Need to see some big buyers step in there. AMD looking like it's bouncing back.
The spread on URBN is just way too much. It's a 23-cent spread. Just way too much. Doesn't look bad, though. What was it? Let's see. Cannabis stocks coming back down. NIO pushing up here. Microchip sector giving some of it back. Gonna look for some longer term fades with the microchip sector. Don't mind that. Want to see that confirmation though first, but they look all right.
Looking at a bigger stock, Kohl's Corporation. Kohl's Corporation. I heard that Target was down today. Looking at that stock, seeing a lot of big stocks come up on my gap down and go scanner. That's what's coming up a lot. A lot of stocks that down gap are coming back up. Yeah. Let's see what happens with them.
I'm just going to have patience, though. I'm just not going to force anything. Maybe URBN is going to test this previous high of the day. Like I said, the spread's just too gnarly for it, though. Yeti, YETI coming down. SOXS. Microchip ETF coming down. PDD dropping. Yeah, that was on my main watch. One of my main watches today.
Whoa. Yeah, PDD.
It is getting hit. What did PCG end up doing? Yeah, kind of choppy. But man, PDD is just completely tanking here.
A lot of stocks are getting that either that huge kind of reverse from that huge down gap that they got this morning, or they're coming down. It's the overall market playing a factor here, guys.
Yeah. ACB. The only problem with ACB out of the other, relative to the other cannabis stocks is it's such a choppier stock. The range is so much smaller with ACB. SQ had a nice little VWAP bounce there.
I gotta learn how to really size into these bigger plays. Was looking at Kohl's there, but it's kind of hard to adjust the share size for it.
Yeah, I have options on PCG and it was up 2,500. Then relieving news came in and spit me out. That's rough, Dan. That's rough, buddy. Kind of looking at PDD here. I mean, if PDD pulls back to that 2019 level, it looks interesting. Although, with such a huge range thus far on PDD, it's kind of like it's hard to approach it, just because the range is so big relative to the share sizing I would take. I don't know. Kind of looking at PDD here. If it pulls back to the VWAP, it looks interesting. A little bit longer term fade, maybe. $20.50 risk, about 50 cents. Big reward though. YECO.
I'm watching it right now. I'm watching it, Mills. What I've been seeing on YECO is you could use that 615 area right now as a resistance. Trying to maybe capture it down if it's going to break down right here off the VWAP. But I don't see the long play. If you're trying to go long right here, I just see it could come down to that 583. I would like to see big buyers step up at 6 if I'm going to play this on the long side. And if I am going to play this on the short side, it would have to be close to 6 to risk off of that 616. And you have to hold really tight because the volume is low right now in the stock. And any volume on the opposite side of your trade is going to make big momentum moves. Ears is going off on the momentum scanner. Ears looks like a dollar magnet stock. For you guys out there, Ears, EARS. Not tradable for us, but definitely looks like it's getting some momentum. Looks like one of those dollar magnets.
Yeah, at this point I'm looking at SOXS. If XOSX gets up to 1450, I may take some with a risk of 66. Never quite got up there though. It's starting to pull back. Ugh. But I don't mind the risk reward in that one. Risk of about 13 cents, reward of about 30 cents. So a little bit more than 30 cents. Didn't look bad. Cannabis stocks rebounding. They're up.
All right, guys, looking to do a VWAP rejection on NIO. NIO, the entry would be 67 off the high of day, which is 75.
LABD, fade. Yeah, beautiful fade this morning for sure. Perfect fade.
Missed it. NIO. I tried to get there, and it didn't come back to 765s.
Yeah, there it goes, man. Yeah, no stress, brother. Don't worry about it. You were correct.
Yeah, one of those that, again, just a couple milliseconds, I'm off. It's causing me to kind of have to stay in the trade.
What do you think about PDD here, man?
Let me pull the chart. It's not the worst. I think you have to let it get up to near that $20 range and then short it. I wouldn't try to hammer it here. I think it can go to the 1981s and then test that $20. I would look for that first red candle near that price point.
Yeah,
that would be my approach. NIO, if it bounced to 764s, 765s, I can get in it, risk off the 70s. So 764s off of 70s, 6-cent risk. First reward would be 50s, which would give us that nice 14-cent profit for about 6-cent risk. Let's see if it gets back up there. Yelko looking really interesting now. You could do kind of a VWAP reject play off of that, but the spread is what I don't like in Yelko. So when the spread's like that, I kind of leave it alone, guys. The spread is a little bit separated and low volume. Low volume, high separation of ask and bid price means that it can change at any moment. It looked interesting, especially like I said, near 6. You could have shorted it there off of that 16, that 614 level, but definitely one where the spread is kind of 6 cents, 8 cents every now and then, and you got to base your entry off of that.
For sure.
Let's see what we can find today.
I'm looking at a PDD with a risk of about $20.02. Get in around 86, 87, and it doesn't look bad. Have to jump in with smaller share size just because the range is pretty big for these.
A lot of stocks,
but it's pushing up.
That gap down and right back up, guys. So many stocks have done that. Huge gap down, right back up.
All right, I'm in PDD with 50 shares. Just going to do a little test run here. See if we can get a rejection at the VWAP.
I'm putting my order out there at 20 or 1998. I want to get as close to that risk level as I can.
See if we get that pull back here. Yeah, I'm in it at 81s. Maybe a little early, but it's right around the VWAP. I don't just dislike it. Quick pullback here. We'll see if we get a bigger move.
Not a bad move at all. Let's see if we get that test slightly above rejection and then coming right back down. I'll hammer it. It's not a bad setup and risk to reward there. Good find, John.
I appreciate it. We'll see if it works. I mean,
yeah. Regardless, the great find, great chart.
Appreciate it. Up to 76s.
I'm actually watching GE here. I need to see bigger volume though.
Yeah, that's what I'm watching, Steve. That's what I'm in now. It's up to 81s, 86s. Got to be careful. Um, we'll see what happens. I don't necessarily mind it testing 20s, but I want to see it fade off the VWAP here. We'll give it some time. There's 20s. Got to be careful here. I don't want to get squeezed up big. About to jump out probably. It's testing 20s really quick here. All right, I'm out. All right, $14 loss. Not too bad. I'll take it. It just squeezed up a little bit too much for me to really want to hold it through this move. It could really get some momentum going up at 20. And so, not too bad. Yeah, there's 2015s. 2018s. Yeah, it looks like I got out at the right time. Also looking at SOXS. Yeah, there's 2030s. So yeah, got out right around the right time. This was the squeeze I was worried about right at $20. And so if I was going to get out, that was not too bad, I don't think. At this point, I'm looking at SOXS here. Risk would have to be at 53s if you can get up to 40, so a 13-cent risk. We'll see if we can get that high, though. But yeah, I mean, PDD looked like a nice little fade there. I liked it because this previous low of the day could hold as resistance, but it just broke through it. And so, held it to my levels. That's all I can really do. Gave myself good risk reward. But it just didn't hold underneath it, so no worries. It's going to happen. This week, it could be a little slow, and so I probably should be a little bit more selective, just because appreciate the sub mill and Michael. And so I maybe should be a little bit more selective this week. We'll see. NIO is rejecting off that VWAP area again, Mitch.
Look, I'm still looking at your PDD. Looks interesting here.
Yeah, it just depends on how you wanted to play it. I got in right around the VWAP, but the reason I was skeptical of it is because it broke that previous, like if you look at the previous day on PDD and you go over, you can see there was a lot of support at this 2005 level. And so when it broke that just made me want to exit it. Because now if it holds that area of support, it could start to feel some of this big downward move. It's not what I want to get called in, really. What did AMD do?
All right, guys. Took a little starter there on PDD. Little starter there. I'm in at 2002. Looking to add here at 2011s, 2010s, going off of 2025. Have an order out for 2016 and order out at 2010.
NIO faded nicely. Or rejected nicely, I should say. I don't mind that your trade now on PDD. You have a defined risk area. What are you giving yourself as risk?
25.
Okay. Yeah, I don't mind that. Right around where I would have given mine.
Just got to be quick with it. Need to get this below the VWAP already, guys. If it gets below VWAP, we'll really start looking good.
All right, so I'm in SOXS here going short with 100 shares on this fade. Risk is 52s, 53s. I like this rejection back down. Quick rejection for me. We'll see if it actually holds now. I like the down wick, but it's moving back up quickly as well. Let's see if we get a fade back down. Peter, if it's blurry, refresh is all I can really say. Refreshing it should help.
Got to be careful here, guys.
Yeah, I'm kind of trying it now, Eric, on SOXS. I'm letting it test. I don't dislike it here, but giving myself a tight risk of a few cents. I've been trying to use bigger sizing, and so that's kind of what if I take some bigger losses where I'm kind of adjusting to bigger sizing, that's okay. Just trying to get used to it, really. Hey, Peter, appreciate the sub, brother. Appreciate the $5, man. Appreciate the support. There you go, Mitch. Looks to be cracking down for you, bro.
Yep, I'm looking to add size here, guys. Trying to find a good price to add size here.
Appreciate the dono, Peter. Yeah, man. Appreciate it, brother. All right, we got the 41s. Gonna let it test. Obviously want to see it get rejected here. It keeps trying to break that support or that resistance it had at 40s. So I'll let it test. Like I said, risk is about 52. I don't mind letting it test that $0.50 if it gets back up there. But I really don't want to see a continuation in it. And so just going to watch it closely here.
All right, guys, have orders out to add at 2009 and 2015. Letting the stock work. If it breaks down through the VWAP, let it come down to the support. First support is going to be 1946 at 1950. We could take a little shares out there. Next target would be down to that $19. There you go, guys. Getting that move to that 1950, guys. Going to be looking to take 50 shares there at 1950.
Nice trade, brother. You took advantage of the fade that I missed. Good work.
Hey, sometimes you got to do that.
Right. Hey, I'm happy for you, man.
That's how it is.
If
we work together. We're able to see the levels.
All right. If it works out for you, it works out, brother.
Yep. It's one of the key things I said is wait. I looked for the thing to get through the VWAP, look for the stock to get through it, wait for that first red candle. And that's kind of what I attacked here and was able to get an okay pricing with the market market sell.
For sure. All right, it's starting to squeeze, getting close to my risk area. Got to be careful with it here. If it breaks 52s, I can just get out, which it may here, and that's fine. Gonna let it test 50s. I think it'll probably end up pushing over, but we'll see if we get that rejection back down. But I like your trade, brother. Good work.
Yeah, it's not bad. It still hasn't fully completed yet. We haven't been able to take some profit, but it's not a bad risk to reward. The reward is out there, and I'm just managing on the side right now of entry and risk, and that's what I tried to do there. Set myself up.
All right, here's the move on 50s. Got to be careful here.
Thank you, DR Box, for that super chat.
Gonna let it test 52s, see if it holds and gets rejected at 50s. That's what I want to see. Gonna give it that time, see if it gets rejected at that $0.50 level, but it's getting kind of at that make or break level for this one. Seeing if it can hold under the 50s. If it finds support there, I can jump out. But gonna give it that time.
Crazy move there on NIO. That miss that I had on the VWAP rejection. Man, that was a nice one.
Yeah, man, I was watching NIO fade down for sure.
Yeah, I tried to get it there at 65s, 765s, but it eventually came back to it. I should have stayed with it, but that's where my entry was trying.
Appreciate the $10 donation, brother. Appreciate it, man. All right, so we got to pull all the way back down here on SOXS. And this is why I don't set hard stops, is because I can let it test the levels first. I'm going to see if it cracks down here. See if it breaks back under to a downward trend. But at this point, I definitely have a defined risk area. It's trying.
There's any moving on the high day momentum scanner, ANY.
It's right back up. I got to be really careful here, especially with that reversal of that down wick. Really don't like that it reversed that big down wick, which means buying pressure. You can see the big down wick on that previous candle, which means some buying pressure here. And so got to be careful. Got to follow that new risk it gave me, which was about right here at 54s. And I just got to stick to that level. Are you still in PDD?
Yep, just hanging out. Just hanging out, man.
All right, it's trying to push back over that level. Might be time to bail. All right, I'm out. $37 loss. Not really what I wanted to see today, but losing days happen. I'm done for the day. I'm not going to force anything else. Been kind of trying to take bigger sizing in some of these moves, and so it's okay if I take some bigger losses because that's fine.
All right, guys. Yelko's starting to move there, guys. Yelko's starting to get that volume, guys. I'm still stuck in PDD, but I definitely am watching that chart. Interested here as it gets some buys there. There you go. You see? This is how quickly it can happen, guys.
Hold on.
Yeah, I don't have the Yelko trade pulled up, but if you just pull up the chart, I can explain it. This is how quickly it happens, guys. I saw that hold at $6. I saw the buyers step in there at $6. Next thing you know, from 6 to 640 in an instant.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm still in PDD here, guys, but definitely that Yelko trade right there, starting to get some momentum. If you got in anywhere there at 6 or 610 or something like that, you could risk off a 6. Have more than enough on this first drive to take your first profit. And then see if it's going to make its move to 7. You see? Boom. There, move to 650s. 650s get bought up. Bomb. Up there to 660s. I wish I could have been watching this one and trading it, guys, but I'm still in PDD. Going to stick to this trade. But definitely a great move there on Yelko. And what do you know? It comes up on the high day momentum scanner at 955. This is why we use trade ideas, guys. Trade ideas let us know immediately on that first green candle, hey, Yelko's moving, guys.
What is AMD doing? I'm curious because the stock I was trading was a inverse of the microchip sector. And so that's why, yeah, that makes sense. SOXS just faked me barely out of there at 61. That sucks. Moves like that make me want to jump back in, but I'm not going to force anything else. I'm done.
Hey, it's how it goes, man. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. All you can do is just set yourself for the best trades.
For sure. And if I did anything wrong, I think I probably maybe jumped in a little bit too early. If I could critique my trades, because now, there it goes. It just faked me out completely. It's down to 31s. But that's how it goes.
Don't worry. I'm getting a little squeeze here. Got to be careful with PDD here, guys. Still hasn't wanted to break that VWAP here, guys. There's been definitely some volume added in between these levels. So got to be careful here as it comes up there. I canceled my ad there. And it didn't get filled. That's a good actual cancel. Don't want to be getting filled up here as it's squeezing. Got to be careful with that 25 level.
Yeah, first off, Gerardo says, why do you guys keep selling your program when you keep losing? First off, you spelled losing wrong. Number two is that if you think we keep losing, you haven't watched the stream in the last month, you know? Like exactly. You know what I mean? Have you watched the stream? You can't just pick one losing day and say, man, you guys are losing. No, like watch the stream. The last few weeks have been great, actually, for me. I've had mostly profitable weeks, and so keep hating, brother. But, you know, if you can wait for one losing day and then try to criticize us, then you don't really know anything about trading. Because losing days, losing weeks are going to happen. You know, that's just kind of how trading is. You know, but you can't wait for a losing day and then start to trying to criticize. I do show my results, Gerardo. You must not watch the stream, brother. But I do show my results, man.
But, you let me know what you want to see. I'll show you it.
Right.
No worries.
But if you want to watch it, go back in time and watch the streams if you really want to see it, man.
Trying to manage my loss here right quick. Was able to get out there for a small loss there, only $12, guys. That's how you do it. Was able to put out an order there at 2014. Get out there. Very small loss, $12 loss. Going to go ahead and focus, nail the next stock. Let's go ahead and find the right move.
Right, for sure. I mean, I stream every day, man. If you think I'm a bad trader, just watch the stream. You know, losing days and losing weeks are going to happen, though, man. Like that's just part of trading. You know, I think it's really easy for people to try to attack Mitch and I just because we're the only people that stream every day live. And so it's really easy to attack us. Where it's like other people are like cherry picking their winners, only uploading their winners. They may stream for like a week, take some big losses, and then go back to cherry picking their winners. And so it's really easy to attack Mitch and I, but at least we show people everything, regardless of how we do. But
yeah, PDD taking off there, guys. I don't really tend to do reverse plays, but that definitely looks like a reverse play there.
Look at the VWAP bounce on SQ right now.
Ew.
Gerardo, this chat room is a scam. Gerardo, we don't charge anybody for this chat room. How is it a scam, man?
Scamming you, Gerardo. Right. Did I get you?
Don't be desperate, bro. Yeah,
Gotta be quicker than that.
Right. We don't charge anybody, man. It's free. How are we scamming people? You know? Yeah, I'll just ban them. But it's free, man. You know, we're not charging people. We're not the other people charging people for chat rooms, man. It's free. We do it every day for free.
I think what happened was Gerardo tried to copy a trade and lost.
Right. Yeah, I think that's what it is too.
Yeah, he tried to copy a trade and lost, and now he's upset. It's like, you guys are supposed to be experts. Why am I losing?
Yeah, for sure. But no, I mean, here's the thing. This is what I always talk about, right? Is that Mitch and I don't claim to be experts. We don't claim to be gurus. You know, we don't claim to be, you know, giving you hot stock picks.
Look at that view up bounce on Yelko. I was thinking about it, but dang, that was a quick one.
No, I mean, he can still come here. He just can't speak. His speaking privileges have been revoked, you know? But it's just here. Like, here's the thing, guys. And this is what you really want to understand about the trading world, right? And this is something that traders should understand, specifically new traders. On YouTube and generally in the trading world, you're going to have a lot of people that sell courses. You're going to have a lot of people that sell stuff to you. Most of the time, they're going to be hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for these courses, right? But these people don't do a number of things. Number one, they don't show you their actual trades. You know, a lot of people will say, yeah, I show you all my trades live. No, you cherry pick your winners and upload your winners. You know, if you have 3 losing trades and 1 winning trade, as somebody on YouTube, it's really, really easy to just record the winning trade, upload that, like, look how much money I made. Look how much money I made. I made $1,000 today. When really you might have lost $4,000. You know, you're just showing people your winners. right? And it's really easy to only upload those winners and then say, hey guys, look how profitable I am. Please buy my day trading course. And that's what you get on YouTube. Literally, that is what you will see. You'll see traders do that. And you'll see some traders that maybe try to live stream every once in a while, take some big losses during their live streams, even though they've only had like 4 or 5 losses in months. And then when they live stream, they take more losses than they have in months. And then they stop live streaming and then go back to only posting their winners. And I've seen that with almost every other YouTuber. I'm sorry, but most other YouTubers do that. And then they claim to be experts. They claim to be gurus. They claim to be experts. They claim to be this teacher that you have to follow because look how accurate they are. But like I said, if they try to live stream, those accuracy rates are pretty hard to back up. And what you got to understand about the trading world is it's really, really easy to do that and kind of trick people in to thinking you're some kind of magical trader that never loses unless you live stream. You know, that's really easy, super common in trading. You know, and I'm not hating on anybody. I'm not naming names or anything like that. I'm not one of those that try to start a bunch of drama on YouTube. But that's what you get, right? And then you get people that pay for those courses. You get people that pay those thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars for those courses or memberships or whatever it is. And then they've spent so much on those people. They've spent their hundreds or thousands of dollars on those people. And so they feel like they have a sense of loyalty to them because they've spent so much of their money on them, and it's hard for them to kind of justify that in their brain, and so all they really know how to do is just kind of blindly defend them no matter what. And it's like Mitch and I, we're just about transparency. Like, you can watch us trade live every day, win or lose. Sometimes we're going to lose, sometimes we're going to have bad weeks, you know, but the system that we have works, and people can hate on it. People can hate on Mitch and I for whatever they want to hate on us for, but at least we're honest with people. You know, like, we're honest with people about all of our trades. You know, we're not just uploading our winners. We're letting people watch everything we do. And that's pretty tough to do in the trading world, and it's pretty rare as well. And so when you get people hating on us for doing this, even though we're doing it for free, where if other people are doing it, they're definitely charging for it. Even though we're doing this for free, at a certain point, it's just kind of like they're just desperate to criticize. You know, like maybe they're insecure, maybe they took some losses, and it feels good to kind of criticize other people, or it feels good to kind of attack other people, and that's fine, because that just means that they feel bad about themselves. But the truth is that Mitch and I give this stuff to people for free. You know, if you want to learn with us every night, that's fine, but we show people our trades for free every day, and so it's hard to justify hating on something like that. You know what I mean? And that's what people got to understand. No, unbiased. It's not throwing me off. Listen, it's not that it threw me off. I just felt like I should describe the state of the trading world for new traders, because new traders need to understand that there's a lot of charlatans in the trading world. There really is. You know, there's a lot of charlatans that, you know, they sell courses or, you know, whatever they want to do, right? But they're not actually profitable traders themselves. And it's one thing if you're not claiming to be an expert and not claiming to be a guru and just trying to teach people. You know, one of them I see doing that I actually kind of respect, because he's not claiming to be anything, is Clay Trader. I actually respect Clay Trader because he's not claiming to be anything. He's not saying I'm an expert, I'm a guru. He's not ripping people off. He's telling people the truth, you know. But then you got other people that claim to be experts that are really not, you know. And so that's kind of was Mitch and I's goal, is just to give people, you know, just to give people the truth. Like, just show people what it's really like for traders, you know, because you can get the wrong impression by following a lot of other people. You know, it's really easy, like I said, to just upload your winners. And it's really tempting. For me, even. It's tempting to just not stream and just cherry pick my winners. You know, I could even use a paper account if I wanted to, and just use a paper account, cherry pick my winners, and then just upload those. You know, that's super tempting, but it's not. What?
GE on that time and sale is ridiculous.
Let me look.
There was a total about near 100,000 shares that just went through at that VWAP, and you just see the stacking of volume. It's a bigger float stock, but dang. Right now, guys, I'm watching MBEV, guys. MBEV has a pennant. We got in that third resistance. I'm trying to see that last hold, the support here at 85s. If it doesn't break through the VWAP curves around here, kind of to that 390 range, I'll go ahead and I'll take a 5-cent risk on this trade.
I'm done. I've taken my 2 losses for today. Some of my rules are that one of my rules is that I can't take more than 2 trades, especially if they're losing trades. And so it was a losing day today. I'm not going to force anything else, man. I'm just going to observe.
I don't really want to talk too much and stay on this subject, but one of the key things, guys, is that you really have to see, if you want a mentor in trading, you have to really see 2 things: how much it's going to cost you and how much value it's going to bring. If it's going to bring you enough value that that you can pay $1,000 and you're going to feel that you got the true value of that $1,000, then go ahead and pay that $1,000. Education is the most important thing in anything you do in life. And if you don't get the right education, you probably will fail. So one of the key things that I think is you got to just find what is of value to you and how you can really grow as a trader. And what we try to do is not try to, tell you about financial freedom, show you cars, or kind of tell you that you can trade these 3 simple chart patterns, and because of that, you're going to get rich and famous. And that's a complete fallacy, and it's not going to happen, guys. No matter what you do, it's just not going to happen. So what we try to do is try to do the opposite. We try to do telling you that it's not one chart pattern, but it's an ability to actually create a process. And tens of thousands of traders are out there, and they're just trading random. What we try to get you to do is really start using a process of trading. And that's what we try to do every single day that we're in the market. And we show you transparency, whether we win or lose. Because in the end, when you trade, you don't trade for winning or losing. You trade for probability. And that's really what we have a tendency to show you in our classes. And that's what we preach, is risk and reward, guys, and having a complete trading plan. No one out there is really trying to teach you how to actually become a consistent self-trader. Self-trader meaning that your ideas are coming from within and not from outside noise. And that's what we try to teach you. We try to teach you to become that confident trader within and use your own abilities to get you to where you want to get to.
I just made $1 million on the great course Buy the Dip. What do I think of Ross? I've never taken his courses or anything like that. I like his free content on YouTube. That's all I can really say. I've never taken his courses, so I can't verify that, But I like his free content on YouTube. I think some of the strategies he teaches are decent strategies, 1 minute pullback.
We got a pattern breakdown here on MBEV, pattern breakdown.
Refresh it, Jason, if it's still frozen, brother. Little tricky day for me, at least. SQ had a beautiful little VWAP bounce there, though. Why ECO popping up with the skaters?
Just holding support there, guys.
Can you block Nightbot? No, it's set to automatically post comments every few minutes. A and Y. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to trade anymore today. I know myself well enough. Like, days like today are days I just kind of got to lay off the gas a little bit. Um,
Look
one
at
of,
that NIO. That was a nice one.
one of the,
Couple
oh yeah, look at that fade.
should view.
Yeah, it also confirmed it. It's a little bit longer term of a fade.
All right, guys, looking for a VWAP rejection there. MBEV never got back to the VWAP there, but we got a pattern breakdown there through the level twos and the time and sales. This is what I always say look out for. The time and sales always gives you that confirmation. Confirmation is not going to come from the pattern itself. It's going to come from volume following the pattern. Kind of a fulfillment.
Hop Tarts, any tips on learning patience with stocks? This is actually something that we always go over, is that before you get into the trade, Hop Tarts, calculate where your risk is. Some other people can call it stop loss or whatever you want to call it, but calculate where your risk is in the trade. Calculate where you're going to take profits. So where your reward is in the trade. Try to give yourself more reward than your risk, basing it off of the levels of the chart, and then stick to those levels like glue. Okay, that's how that's how you keep patience in the trade, is you just stick to your levels. You build yourself a plan around that trade. So for instance, if you give yourself a 10-cent risk area and a 20-cent reward level, in order for that risk to reward level to fulfill, you have to actually hold it to that reward level, and you want to base it off of the chart. It's okay if you get out 1 or 2 cents early, if you want to, take your profits or whatever, but stick to those levels, man. That's the best thing you can do, is just give yourself a calculated risk and a calculated reward in that trade before you enter the trade. So before you even trade, analyze the chart, give yourself a calculated risk and a calculated reward, and then stick to those levels. Because if you consistently give yourself more reward than your risk and you're accurate enough, then you'll be fine.
Interesting stock, but not really my niche. Is we could do a kind of VWAP rejection play for HD Home Depot. I would do it over here in that 170 range where it's going to come to right now, and you could look for that move right back down. Just not really the price point where I'm used to, so I wouldn't take the trade. But it's interesting. I've been seeing Lowe's, Home Depot, Target kind of do this kind of the same plays.
Michael Corleone says, do some people bought your package on your website? Yeah. I don't know what you want me to say. Yes. Right now we have 20 students, 20 something, everybody that signed up 2 months ago resubscribed this month for it, except for one person. So we have a 90-something% comeback rate, whatever you want to call it. But yeah.
Customer retention.
Yeah, retention rate, whatever, 90-something% retention rate.
Whoa, TLGT.
Yes, Dr. Box. I mean, that's what mostly, if you guys want to see, we have a few classes that we did for free. I can post those if you want. We have 3 classes we did for free.
What you guys can do is if you guys want to get, last week we held a free 3-day trial, and we're more than willing to send you those classes so that you can really see what our classes involve. If you want to go ahead and get those classes sent to you, you can reach out to us at beginnertrading@gmail.com.
Yeah, I was just going to post the links here, man, if anybody wants to see it.
Yeah, we can do that too.
Hold on, let me find it.
Dr. Box, that's actually our main indicator, and would probably be the only indicator that we would go ahead and kind of advertise to you guys to continue using, is the VWAP. We use the VWAP on almost every single one of our trading strategies. And the reason being is that so many traders are using that level, and they're going to go ahead and kind of continue trading off of that level. A lot of algorithmic traders use that level, and VWAP is definitely one of our highest used indicators.
For sure.
And I mean, when you guys really think about it, for the amount that we're paying and charging you guys per class, there really isn't anyone out there even willing to spend the time with you to let alone do those kinds of trades.
Right. People act like we're getting rich, man. It's like $1.50 a class. It's like $1.50 a class. And it's like part of it is like, you know, like here's the thing. Like we're not experts. We're not gurus, you know. We have a system that works fairly well, and we just teach people that system. We help new traders learn. Like that's all we do. You know, we're not trying to be gurus or experts or anything like that. We're not trying to charge people thousands of dollars and get rich off courses, because that's just not what we do. We just let people watch us. You know, if you want transparency, like that's what you get is transparency, regardless of whether we win or lose. You know.
Well, Herberto, we don't really use too much hotkeys. I used to be more adamant about using hotkeys in trading, but as I saw myself make way too many times where I got out at a really bad price or got in at a really bad price, I slowly started getting away from hotkeys and realizing that limit orders have a great advantage. And if you really just use your limit orders the right way, which is sometimes setting it up. When I sell out of a position on the long side, I put my limit order 5 cents down. And this gives me an ability to kind of essentially do a market order, but without having the ability of it going down too much. I'm not going to have 10-cent slippage. I'm okay with 5-cent slippage.
Here's class 1 from last week. I'll try to find class 2. Yeah, YECO is tradable, Eric.
Yeah, they brought it back. I'm actually watching it right now, guys. I'm trying to decide on where the proper entry would be. In my eyes, we need to make a run somewhere up there to the 655s for it to create another resistance, for this to be more of a long play. Right now, it's on a breakdown play where it could break down and just come right back down to 6. So I need to see it make a run to the resistance, to that 650, and then kind of hold that 650 area, create that nice support that it's creating at 640 for it to erupt past that 660, get up there to that 7.
Appreciate the sub, B-Hawk and Valdez and Gabriel. Sorry, guys. And Hop Tarts.
Herberto, nice question here. I traded ears with real money but was having trouble selling really fast on the spike. One of the real key ways that you can get around that, Herberto, is what I did is I developed, if you like hotkeys, you can develop what I call profit target keys, which what this does, it calculates average cost plus, let's say, 10 cents, 20 cents, or 30 cents. So I had these profit keys, and the way I use them is in your exact situation. Let's say if I saw a spike and I want to get out of a stock, I don't have the ability to actually put the price level into the order. So what I want to use is I want to use my average cost calculation, and I want to use either 10, 20, or 30 cents to put out a limit order to sell at that price range. And that way I get filled where I'm selecting the price versus as just bidding out on a hotkey and then looking down and seeing yourself that you gave up 20 or 30 cent profit. 100%, a lot of times you're going to still be able to make money on those times where you kind of have to just bid out and didn't get the maximum. But what I really think is beneficial is if you already know where you want to take profits, if you put your order out there and the order gets filled while it approaches it, it's going to be 10 times better than you trying to kind of close out the trade when the price reaches that point. Reason being why, guys, is that Once it reaches that point, guys, there's no turning back. And that's really where you got to go ahead and just tackle the stop. You know, you want to get that profit factor out there. I usually put out 10, 20 cent profit factor, take half of it there and let the rest of it work. So Mark, you can go ahead and go to our website, and on our website we have kind of our strategies that we trade and also the packages and what they involve. One of the real big things that we did with our packaging is that we included all the classes available to you if you join. You know, a lot of traders out there would probably have restricted it to just the classes as you join, but we're giving you access to the library of videos, which is now pretty extensive.
Right, we got like what, 28? So yeah, so we get, it's the live classes, so like each package is like 20 live classes, but then it comes with the backlog of old classes, right? So it's like 28 at this point. I think it's 28 of our old classes. So you get the 20 live classes in a month, but you also get the backlog of the old classes
guys,
as well.
I'm trying to get in the Yelko here. I missed it by another hair of a second, guys. You can pull my screen up here. I'm trying to get in the Yelko here, guys. Trying to be long here. I hit it there at 46s, but didn't get filled. Let's see if I get this pullback here and get filled here. Trying to get filled down here, 46, 40s, where I could risk off of that 27, 30 range.
Jeremy, I think mine is like $116 a month. Let me look to see how much mine is for Trade Ideas. I think mine's like 116. It's something like that. It's like 120, roughly.
Yeah, I know they have first-time member discounts, so you can look for that. And they usually have a great Black Friday sale. So I would really look into that. And just about any kind of trading platform or trading alert system should have a good discount for Black Friday. So I would look for that so that you guys could take advantage of the best sales.
Right. Yeah, I have, let me look, man. I don't know what they're doing now. Mine's like $120 a month, something like that. Maybe like a little bit less than that, but I can't remember the exact price to it.
All right, not getting filled in between the spread here. Might just have to cancel and then kind of adjust to the price. I need to wait for the spread to get tighter. And when the spread gets tighter, I can jump in and take that ask.
You said take that ask?
Take that ask. You got to take that ask.
Stop it, man. Stop it, dude. All right. But yeah, I think if I have a hole in my game right now, I think it's really you could probably watch my trading. Like, my accuracy rate is on point, you know. I have more green days than red. Yes, I believe so, Alex.
And I think you're a little bit wrong on that one. It doesn't include the AI. The 116 is not for the AI.
It doesn't?
No, it's not the AI.
I think I have the AI, though. Let me see.
No, the AI is for the Pro. They're kind of their higher up package.
Oh, yeah, I have the basic.
It's up there at like $180 a month or something like that. But I mean, that's only if you're gonna really use the AI. If you're really gonna use the AI, I think it's worth it. But if you're just trying to learn about artificial intelligence trading, kind of that auto trading life, I would recommend waiting till they have what's called the test drive. And during the test drive, you can get access to the AI for about $6 to $8. And this can give you at least an ability to find out if that's really the way you want to trade. One of the key things, I don't want any trader out there just wasting money. And that's what I try to be really transparent about. And so I always try to tell you guys the best way to spend your money. And if you're looking into AI trading, I would wait for that test drive, get that test drive, use it, and see if your strategy even works in that sense.
Right. See if it aligns with your strategy is what I would do. I mean, I have the basic, and so I guess the basic's like 120 a month. I'm not sure.
Cody's getting right. I'm about to take that ass.
Stop saying that, man. I'm trying not to laugh, bro. All right. Let's move on.
Let's see if we get the hold right here.
Yeah, Young. I mean, that's what I was saying. Like the trade that's the cheapest I've ever seen it. It's like 25% off. Yeah, I mean, like I said, if I have a hole in my game, it's really about scaling up and sizing at this point. Like I've been profitable for the most part the last 6 months or so. But the reason my account doesn't reflect it as much is because I'm using smaller sizing, and so commissions play such a huge factor when I'm using this smaller sizing that when I have nice profitable weeks, it doesn't reflect like it should. And so if that's the hole in my game at this point. Like I said, I've tried to use bigger sizing lately, and so today's loss was a little bit bigger, but I got in with 100 shares of a higher range stock, if that's what I mean by bigger sizing. But that's the hole in my game I really need to fix. I've been talking about it for a while, but I got to use bigger sizing because if you go look at my trades, like I definitely have more green weeks than red, but it doesn't compensate for that commissions, and so because of that, my account kind of stays stagnant. And so at this point, I got to use bigger sizing. I got to just take the risk, and that's kind of a tough part of trading. It's a tough part of trading in general is scaling up and sizing, but I'll get there one day. It's just you get into that habit of conditioning yourself to use small sizing, and it's tough to break. And that's kind of where I'm at now as a trader. I can understand myself well enough to understand that that's kind of where I'm at as a trader at this point.
All right, guys, we're getting that down move. All right, guys, this is where I want to see if it's going to hold 630s, and then I'll take the buy. We got that down move to a support. I always look for this support move, guys. This is that support move that should either hold or break down the long pattern.
I know, power zone, man. That's what I'm saying, dude. That's the biggest hole in my game. Like, if you watch the stream, and you've been watching the stream, I have more green weeks than red. Easily more green weeks than red. But it doesn't reflect in my accounts because the sizing's too small. I need to just commit to it. I guess, here's the thing, and this is, I can understand myself well enough that I don't want to blame it on the stream, but it's like, this is the thing, right? You get stuff like today where you use bigger sizing, you take a little bit larger loss than you used to, and you have dummies in the chat like, oh, you suck as a trader, you suck as a trader. And it's like, no, I'm just trying to scale up to use bigger sizing, and I may take bigger losses relative to what I did previously. And so I kind of just, what happens is that this is the kind of process of me as a trader at this point. I have green week, green week, green week, green week. Okay, my trading's super consistent at this point. I've been doing really well. Let's try to move up in sizing some. Move up in sizing one day, take a bigger than normal loss, kind of crawl back down to small sizing. I took a bigger loss. It's not working. I just need to go back down to smaller sizing. Green week, green week, green week. I'm going to try bigger sizing again. My trading's been consistent. And it's almost like clockwork. As soon as I try bigger sizing, big loss. I'm going to go back to small sizing. And that's kind of the process I'm in as a trader. I have more green weeks than red. I'm a profitable. If you look at my gross profits, I'm substantially more profitable than I am a losing trader. But, every time I try to go up in sizing, I take bigger losses. And I'm just not used to those bigger losses. And so I kind of go back to what's comfortable for me, which is smaller sizing. And it happens over and over again. And so it's just kind of the pattern I need to break. I need to just commit to using bigger sizing, understand that I may take some losses in that week, bigger than I'm used to doing. And that's okay, because if I stick with it, my trading will even itself out. You in short?
No, not yet. I was thinking about shorting here at 640s. It would have to be off of that 660s. But The move was way too fast. You could do a pattern breakdown trade here, short 640 off of 650. First profit would be that 615 range. So you got about, what we got, 25-cent profit, 10-cent risk, 2.5 to 1 trade is the trades that I kind of look for. One of the real keys is I want to see what happens here at this 35. It's just going to just shoot right back up to the resistance, get up there to 45 and test and hold. It could have just been a fake down. What we call, instead of a fake out on the long side, you get a fake down move.
Honestly, Alex, like I said, man, in my opinion, gross is the only thing that matters. Gross shows how well of a trader you are without commissions and ECN fees. So it shows you if you're actually a profitable trader, accuracy-wise, and in general. You know, if you could be a profitable trader with gross profits, then you could be a profitable trader with net profits. The only real difference is commissions, and so the only real difference is sizing. So if you can have gross profits every week, then you can have net profits every week. You just got to scale up a little bit, you know, and that's all that really means. What's up, David? Welcome in.
Fork moving. I don't know if you guys are hungry, but fork is moving. Yeah, I'd have to agree, Star Trader. Yelko's is being a little tough with that spread. You really have to kind of take some more risk on this trade, kind of open up your risk to reward. And that's why essentially it hasn't been the best trader, but today looked interesting. It definitely looked like it was going to break out. I saw it early, would probably have been able to make an early move, but was stuck still in that PDD trade. So today I'm just looking around, guys. Today's really the day that I have a lot more time to trade. So I'm not trying to be impatient, trying to really find a good setup to tackle. We still have about like an hour, and so we can really just focus in on trying to nail the best trade here. I'm only down $12, which is nothing on any trade essentially with the sizing I'm in. So I'm going to go ahead and just nail down, try to find that good stock to trade.
Yeah, I'm looking at AMD. AMD, nice little VWAP bounce there. Long-term move.
XON shooting off, guys. XON here. Oh, it's tradable.
It just depends, Alex, right? If your goal, it just depends on what your goal is, Alex. You can use small sizing. Like one thing we went over in class yesterday was longer-term fades. You can see XON yesterday, for instance. Once it confirms that fade the first time, then the second fade is generally more reliable, like you could see here on XON. And you can approach that with smaller sizing, trying to take advantage of the longer range.
All right, guys, my order is out there to get filled at 940. I need a quick pullback fill. I could risk off at 930s. This is what I call momentum trading, guys. I used to do this a little bit more often, guys. But what you really need to do is you need to understand what I call the ultimate risk in the stock. Buying it here at 956 would not be a viable trade plan because the ultimate risk in this trade right now is 931. That's where it got the momentum. That's where it could fall instantly. So you understand that, and this is why I use moving averages, 9 EMA here. 9 EMA is always a good use. And trade ideas, bringing it to you again, 1035. As soon as the move happened, I was able to find it on my high day momentum scanner and pull up the stock. The only thing that kind of kept me back was it tradable? And that did take me a little bit of time to find out. Maybe could have taken the 950 approach, but I really usually like to get within 10 cents of this trade to the ultimate bottom, which was that 930 mark. Good little breakout there, though. PXS going off, guys, also. PXS.
PXS?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's starting to run a little bit. Man, watching SOXS hurts, man. Looking at it, maybe I didn't give myself enough risk, but I feel like I did. I feel like it just stopped people out that were getting in anticipation of the rejection of the $0.50. But it faded twice. It just broke my risk. Appreciate the sub, David. Welcome in. Appreciate it. And Arner, appreciate it, brother.
All right, guys, watching actually a bigger stock here, guys, watching Lowe's.
Lowe's.
Oh. The only thing I don't like about it is the multi-time frames, guys. On the 1 minute, you do see that kind of flaggish kind of cup and handle right here. And on the 5 minute, it just doesn't look as cup and handle to me. And so that right there restricts me from making this trade. I always look at multiple time frames with bigger stocks. But these stocks are moving relatively close to HD, Target, all of them in their sector. Oof. We got XOM Go up there now to 969, 968s. We need a mover like this, guys. This is essentially what I've been waiting for, guys. I think the market really needs that mover again, that really big mover to really start getting it going. And we're kind of seeing that right now, guys. Kron also breaking out right now, guys. Big buyers stepping up there at 840s. Looks like we're having the weed stocks bounce up here, guys.
We're going to give you a nickname, Mitch.
Guys?
Mitch Guys Trader.
Mitch Guys.
Mitch Guys Hawk. You know, I like it. I can be John. No stress. Or no, John, no worries. The only thing, I mean, I'm probably done. Kron had a nice little VWAP bounce, though. But I'm probably done. The only thing I'm really looking for is what we went over yesterday, which is those long-term fades, maybe on SOXS if it can get up to 1427. Use that previous top as risk. Doesn't look that bad. But I'm probably done.
Yep. Wheat stocks rebounding here, guys.
But yeah, I feel like I need to give myself a plan on like what to do. I need to give myself rules for bigger sizing, right? I think if the stock has a range that day of a few dollars, I could give myself like 150 shares, 200 shares. And if it has a smaller range, buy more. But I have to give myself an organized rule set to follow or I'm never going to use bigger sizing.
That's all it is, brother. I'm glad you see it.
You know,
it's just a matter of understanding that what I'm doing is not going off of realized. I go off of the trade itself. I create a trade plan based on the trade. I don't change my trade plan based on my share account. And that's what really makes you a better trader. You stop trying to kind of adjust your share. Like what happens is a lot of people, they go bigger shares. They run faster into their profits and run faster in their losses. That's not going to help you on either side. You know, if you're going to get kind of emotional and stop out of your trade early on both sides, whether that be taking profits too quickly or kind of getting out too quickly, those all can be negative things. So what you got to do is you got to really get back to the plan itself. The plan itself will keep you alive and consistent. But once you deviate from that plan and you start trading different kind of different approaches or different risk or reward, that's when you start losing.
For sure. Appreciate the sub, Chris. Welcome, man. Appreciate it.
Yo, Mikey, that's too much, man. You're gonna make me have to go get off trading and check out some of that oil you guys were talking about earlier. Getting philosophical over there, Mikey.
Right, man. Super deep.
Hey, you guys, if you guys wouldn't believe it, I actually have an AA degree in philosophy. Wouldn't you know?
Philosophy, huh? Hey, brother, a degree's a degree, man.
Hey, I didn't pursue it completely just for the fact that the only thing that I could have been doing with it is kind of being a professor, teaching, but it wouldn't have been a bad job. You know, one of my biggest things is kind of mind-blowing people, opening them up to new perspectives. And that's really what I kind of found in philosophy is, you know, there's so many perspectives out there in the world that if you really start opening yourself and you be open to kind of information and just trying to find out where the truths are and the lies, you actually start opening yourself up to a vast world of information. And there's so much to learn out there in the world, whether that be trading or just out there in general.
For sure.
Oh, philosophy was fun for me. I took a couple of ethics class. The real one that I was blown away by logics. Logics classes were really interesting.
Hey, good luck, John. You got your real estate finance class today, brother. Good luck, brother. Real estate's a good business. Like, I'm a real estate agent. I do a lot of different stuff, honestly.
All right, guys. I'm looking at NIO here, guys. I'm seeing it come back up. It went up through the VWAP, came below it. I need it to come back down, probably underneath it, make this move to 738s. I'll look for a bounce up there to 44s to get in here. I don't want to rush this trade as it's still above VWAP. And above VWAP, we're kind of reverse trending here. But I do see the potential of it coming back to that 718. And so the risk to reward is there. Now I just got to get the best entry and the best trading plan completely here. How am I going to do that is I'm going to look for the best entry towards my risk. The tighter risk I can have, the better risk to reward I can have and confidence within the trade to let it play out. I'm seeing this move up that went to 48. I do see a resistance there at 750s. 750, 751, there's a resistance there. So we can use that based on our risk. Now what we want to do is we don't want to chase into this at 41. We want it to bounce somewhere in between these candles, and we can get in anywhere between 748 and that 743. We're looking probably for 745s off that 750. Not a bad level. A little bounce here, and we could get in off that 750.
For sure. Yeah, somebody said they want in on my Amazon. I'm going to post a video. A lot of people probably haven't seen this video. It's a little old. But this is my front office, John. I don't know if you've seen this video, but this is my front office. This is my front office. Part of it's like my Amazon business and stuff like that. So I'll post that video. You can go watch that if you want to see what my office looks like in my house.
Man, a lot of gap downs and go today, guys. We can learn a lot of that. We can learn a lot from the day like today.
Yeah, man.
So many stocks had huge gap downs. Everyone thought it was going to be a bear day. And what ended up happening is most of them did a gap down and go move, where it gaps down way too much and has to fill in that shadow on the opposite side. The same way we attack when stocks gap up way too extended and come down is the exact opposite happen a lot of times with the stocks today.
Right. I mean, this is, a lot of people see big gap ups, right? And they naturally think, well, it's showing a lot of strength in pre-market. Let's see if it goes up more. But when I see big gap ups, I'm naturally short biased, and vice versa for big gap downs, just because I think the momentum's on the other side. If it gaps down 50%, if it gaps up 50%, I'm naturally short biased. If it gaps down 50%, I'm naturally long biased, just because the momentum's on the opposing side at that point.
All right, guys. Big bidder there at 742, guys. Big bidder on the level 2. I see 128. His size just got filled halfway. Half of his sizing just got filled, guys.
I don't hate it.
Um, I'm really watching this NIO trade here, guys.
This is why I hate sitting around in the market. I'm super tempted to take it here too. It's
Yeah.
a little bit of a triangle here though. Like you can see the triangle. I can draw it. If I can remove all these old drawings, you can see a little bit of a wedge triangle forming here. It definitely has this upward trend line forming. Look at that.
Yep. What I'm kind of wary about is a lot of times big shorters are going to put their order out above where the price is, not below it. Because if you're putting it below it on the bid side, it would instantly get filled if you're trying to short here. So what that is that's showing you that there's a buyer willing to take it there. We don't want him taking too much size and pushing it through that 750. If he pushes it through the 750 right here, we can let this trade go.
Maybe, man. It doesn't look that bad. That BWAP bounce on PXS. I just think the risk is super obvious for NIO at this point. I mean, 750,
Yep.
a lot of support there.
100%.
Super obvious risk area.
Yep.
The only problem with it is it's kind of stair stepping up. It's putting in higher lows on the way up.
Higher lows, higher lows.
Right.
So what you got to do is you have to make it tighter on risk to reward. If we're going to take this trade, let it be a 3-to-1 or a 4-to-1 trade. If you can do that, then why not take it? All right, guys, going to watch right here to see if this can get above to that, make a new high, or if it's going to reject at that 748. If it rejects at that 748, look for me to guys to get in here. 500 shares, risk off that 750.
It does look good, man.
Here's the push. There's 46, 47s. Let's see if it rejects that 48 push, guys.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it, brother. Welcome, man. Glad to have you here, brother.
There's 47s.
It looks good, man.
It looks interesting.
I may jump in with 100 shares, giving myself time.
Nah. Oh, why 100 shares?
Because, man, I've already taken 2 losses. I'm scaling down.
Yeah, but that takes away that risk to reward.
Not
You
really.
got to stay in it.
I mean, I can still give myself a tight risk and a big reward. It's just going to be with 100 shares.
Yeah. I just always say that consistent sizing is what you need also. If you get inconsistent with your sizing, you get inconsistent results.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to do it. It's putting in higher lows there, which makes me not trust it. It's a double top, though, at the same time around the 747 level. And so I see the double top. I'm probably just not going to trade.
It's all good.
I got to know myself well enough. I got to stick to my rules. One of my rules is if I have 2 losing trades especially, I'm done. I'm not going to jump in more.
Well, you'll be able to see the play work out here, guys. All right, guys, I'm short there, guys. 500 shares there off the 750, guys. Got to watch that 750 reject here and be careful, guys. If it goes to that 750 and above, immediate out. 51s, I'm out, guys. Saw them get filled here. Got to take that out real quick, guys. That's how it is here in the trade. You know, you got that third resistance chance. I probably could have waited for the third try. It could reject here. I saw some shares getting filled there at 51, and that's what I didn't want is the kind of the swing to momentum. Here comes the bidder to sweep it. There's the bidder buying it up. You saw that 118 come up there on the bid. You see that big sizing showing up on the bid side? That's someone taking this trade and going to take it up.
Yeah, no stress. You stuck to your levels. That's all you can do.
Yeah. small little stop out, $35. I'm okay with that. It's risk to reward, guys. That's all I take.
You left me a message, John. All right, I'll check it out, brother. But yeah, with that said, I'm probably gonna close it down. Kind of slow, choppy Thanksgiving week trading.
Yeah, it's part of the Thanksgiving, guys. Maybe not that many traders out there, and we're gonna be looking for the action to really heat up in December.
I hope so, man. Usually the volume's pretty good at
Yeah,
this point.
December has technically been my best month over the 3 years of trading. So I'm gonna be really looking to take some swings in December. Um, in 2 weeks alone, last December, I was able to make about $5,000 to $6,000. And yeah, I was taking bigger sizing in that. But the real key is, guys, is that the market usually has a tendency of getting hot. And when the market is hot, that's when you really got to understand your risk to reward levels and just go for it.
For sure. All right, guys. If you're interested in signing up to TradeNet, you can go through my link. They have the Black Friday sale, so it's 20%, 25% off. I make a commission from it, but if you want to help support the channel, it's one of the ways we keep this stream completely free. Also, you can go check out Trade Ideas. Shout out to Trade Ideas for letting me stream their scans. They're cool enough to let me stream them, and so if anybody wants to check out Trade Ideas, you can go through this link as well. And yeah, no worries. Not a great day, but I'm sticking to my rules, not trading anymore. If I am going to get into another trade today, it's going to be one of those longer term fades I talked about yesterday. See if SOXS maybe pulls back up, but that's about the only trade idea I have thus far. Just going to stick to my levels. When I'm not doing great, I'm just going to take my foot off the gas a little bit and be a little bit more selective. Last week was a break-even week. This week, a little bit worse than break-even. Week before that was a green week, and so, not doing too bad in this kind of choppy winter action here, but good luck, guys. We'll see you all later. Have a good day, and I'll see you all tomorrow. The market's open tomorrow, right?
Yeah, you got tomorrow still.
Okay.
Just remember, guys, a lot of traders will be heading off to vacation and not trading probably tomorrow. So if you guys do see a slow day tomorrow, don't be surprised by it.
Yeah, just protect your account, guys. That's all you can really do on slow days like that. But have a good day, all. We'll see you all later.
Take care, guys.